Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Less than two crew. Welcome to the weekend. We celebrated the only way we know how. That's with the pad. Sorry, someone asked where the pal is. That's why. With the pad every week, and I'm here once again after what's been a very interesting 24 hours. By interesting, I mean a lot. But we move forward. Let me say hello to the early chatters. Okay. Let me go ahead and do that and say hello to Chalet. Welcome in. Live in the building. We got Jen. Hello, hello. Just wondering in Discord if you were asleep and then went live. Hope we got a chance to get a nap in. I'm just here and I'm chilling. Jenna Lee, hello. Samantha, what's good? Grace, Rob with 2Bs. AJ Daniels, what's up? Pixie, Angela, Tomster, Mandy. I think you already said, I didn't say hello to you, Mandy. Hello to you. Was here for stream last night. You did great. Thank you, Grace. Thank you so much. Can of Biscuits, welcome in. Russ, hello. Devi, Katesy, Papaya, hello. You fucking with the GIF, the Dokes GIF. Kansas, welcome in. Kombucha is where's the pal. It's edited. It's not uploaded. Okay, I still have to upload it. Okay, that's on me. It's been a busy day. Daisy, good evening. Welcome in. Musketeer, hello. No worries, Pixie Sticks. Terra Teeth, hello. Baby Chrissy with the 19 months here. Thanks so much, Chrissy. Appreciate it. Welcome back once again. Dropping in before bed because I just finally finished the episode and recaps. Had to spend some time with the crew. Jess, welcome in. Kenzie, hello. What's good? Welcome in. I'm doing good, you know. I'm doing fine. Tired still, but we're here. You know what I mean? Did I see the Sun article? I know they're a rag, but they most definitely have sources in production. What did they say, Magic Gamer? What did they say? Sydney, welcome and hello. All right, y'all. Well, you already know what the vibe is. You already know what we're going to do tonight. What we do every time we're here for the weekend. We're going to have a form open. If you want to submit any questions anonymously, you can do so. Otherwise, you can chat in here. And any topic is welcome. Anything is welcome. So long as you're not being, like, filthy, you're good. That's the only requirement. Will there be a Dawn exit interview? Right now, Samantha, I have 0 exit interviews except for Rob. We're working on trying to get them, but I'm not holding my breath quite yet. All right. I'm trying to see in this article where some please somehow for the show's secret trailer. I don't like secrets like this. Some also complained that the change wasn't properly explained. Here's the thing. I feel like the secret trailer gets made because of the amount of people that complained about how there needed to be an element like the mole, or that we needed to play, like they should not show us the trailer so we can play along. That's why the secret trailer twist was there, for people that wanted more done with the trailers than keeping the same formula. So if you don't like it, I've been saying we don't need a twist like this. Have I seen Traitors UK episode 4 to 6? Not yet, Dolan. I'm planning on watching them tomorrow, so that I'm freshly ready for when I talk to Annabelle tomorrow night. You're a great interview. Oh, thank you so much, Samantha. I would have loved to get more answers, you know, but I'm waiting. I don't understand. That was a little too much. Let me rein it in. Other publications have gotten interviews and I have not. So I don't know why that is, but we'll wait and see. We'll be patient with it. But yeah, I just think that the twist ultimately was not done well, but also you're never gonna know unless you try. So T. Lindy, thank you for the prime. Welcome back in. Welcome. Thanks for great streaming last night. Hey, thank you. Hope you all had fun with me. Well, we did about 5 hours last night watching the games. The episodes. And then next week we have 2, and then the week after that'll be 1, but we'll be back every Thursday is the plan. Don't they know who you are? Don't they know who I am? Have I not made a name for myself? Huh? How many other podcasters you know that got one of these, huh? That's my name. That's my nickname. What are we doing here? Just kidding. What's up, Gerard? Hello, welcome in. I don't know that I can even continue watching this season. And listen, I'm not going to force or tell anybody that they should. I think ultimately it stings extra this year because it's Rob. More than anything. But which actually the first question of the day in the form is going to be more talking about this. So let's go ahead. Hi, Pooya. Hello. Watching last night's episode of My Family got me thinking a lot. I used to think I liked the Traitors primarily because of the strategy, but episodes like this make it obvious it's really about the tone and feel it creates. What made me sad was that it felt like going in, I thought Rob was going to be the one to really ground the game. And now, hold on, sorry. And now, without him, I have a fear tone won't be as balanced. As a longtime RHAP fan who had a lot of excitement, watching him go abruptly stung. And immediately, my thoughts went back to precedent for how I was feeling, that feeling of watching things go abruptly, which brought me way back. It took me back to when I was a kid, watching Survivor for the first time with my dad and his parents. They love watching shows and always rooted for players like Rob. Though my dad was there yesterday, my grandma never got to see how Rob's reality arc played out in the long run, which bums me out. Her story ended suddenly, which is okay. Jez? Will we see a Taryn return to Goose Goose Duck anytime soon? When Taryn wants to join, he will let me know. That is as far as that's gonna be. Like, I can't make someone come play, chat. If they want to play, they could let me know. And Taryn like took the time off, so I was like, when you're ready, let me know. He said okay. I said okay. Tiffany really thinks Michael Rappaport is a traitor, right? Unfortunate for her. Yeah, she's backing the wrong person a lot for a secret traitor arc, which I don't think is gonna pay off. Unfortunately. So, what happened? What happened, Samantha? Happy to be here with the squad. No sworn enemies allowed. Hell yeah. And we only have a list of 4, don't we? I feel like this show helps reputations. Lochte, Peter, Dylan, everyone, but it seems like this year all it is seeming to do is make reputations worse. I don't subscribe to that at all. I think Rob Roush is about to be put on the map proper, genuinely, for his gameplay so far. I think that, I think Rob Roush is like the standout as far as like players who people thought nothing would come from. So I wasn't prepared for how proud I was to see Rob on the screen again. So happy he got the chance to play. Wish it had turned out differently, but so proud of him. And I said this from before. As long as he was happy, I'm happy, and it looks like he's very happy. And also, he got his chance. He got his time in the spotlight, which I'm happy about. I want to go follow Rob Robinson, but yeah, he's a snake. His job is a snake wrangler, so I'm not in a rush to what's it called? Follow him either. Rob got rid of. I mean, here's the other thing too. I've seen a lot of people say Rob Roush did this, Lisa Rinna did this. They were given a list and they picked the best person on that list. I cannot be mad at them personally. Yeah, yeah. Would the Less Than Two Crew be down to do an NFL playoff bracket challenge? If you set one up, I'm sure people would like to partake. I think so. Well, it wasn't long enough. I'm glad Rob got as good of an edit as he did. In just 2 episodes, he solidified himself as one of the smartest faithfuls playing in the U.S. I haven't seen outside U.S. yet. I think in the U.S. is a pretty fair read. Rob R. super low-key and ideal balance for OTT Housewives. I still would not have predicted he'd be chosen to be a traitor. Yeah, in my head, he was not a bad choice. He was just like 6th choice or 7th choice, which to me felt like they're probably not going to go there. You know? They're probably not going to go there and they're probably not going to go there and go ahead and put it on him. They're going to pick other people. So when they picked him, I was pleasantly surprised. Michael, welcome and hello. What I think of Michael Roberts because of his looks, I laughed out loud. I mean, it's audacious to think you call yourself the best looking, dopest faithful ever. Sydney, you caught on to that? I hated Rob on his Love Island season, but then realized he was the most entertaining on that cast, and I'm loving him so darn far. Also, I think it was a mistake to put into Housewives. I think I'm fine with them putting in 2 Housewives when you look at the alternative and you realize that they've put in 2 gamers every season. So I feel like, and this is gonna be very shitty what I'm about to say, but I want everyone to remember, I'm friends with Rob, and I have been rooting for Rob, and I've been talking about Rob for over 40 hours in the lead up to this season. I feel like Rob ends up paying the invoice for what, like, as gamers, we've had it good and we've not talked about how good we've had it, where we have had a guaranteed 2 people minimum in the turret every season. Everyone else has had 1, if that. And we have had, and even then, we've still made it hard for ourselves by, like, you know, making some bad moves, making some bad decisions. I think Rob being there, and Rob going out as a result of it, it stings a lot more. Like, if Rob wasn't there and we lost Ian and like Jam, I would still be upset, but I would be a lot less upset personally. But I think, to me, it's fairs, because I feel like if you're a fan of the Housewives franchise and you saw your team get decimated, now you're getting to see your time shine. It's a balance. And I think that it's better for the franchise if by the time you get to a season 5 or a season 6, you're looking around, you're like, anybody could be a traitor. I think it was a huge mistake from early doors for them to put so many gamers into the turret that now it behooves people to get rid of them because they have seen what they are capable of. I think that's the issue. And so season 4, toughie. Season 5, toughie. But we'll see. And some of my friends like to say I'm frustrated that Donna's picks were random, no obvious strategy. Well, I would like to know more. I think that's the flaw of the secret traitor, is that we don't get to see their confessionals and their thoughts. There could be more logic there. We just don't get to see it. The only one I'm mad at is production for not making Rob a traitor. I don't think Rob wanted to be a traitor. I'm like 90% sure Rob vocalized he doesn't want to be a traitor, so they would never pick him. They had to break the meta. They had to. They just, for their show, they had to break the meta. Watching Taryn's reaction to Rob R cracked me up. What was Taryn doing, Kelly Kate? I want Rob to go so far. Sadly, I've seen the spoilers a few weeks ago, and they were absolutely correct about who the traitors were. That Ian was the first murder, but they had somebody else the second. Doubly shocked when he didn't walk into breakfast. Well, I had heard that apparently a publication yesterday released their review of the episodes early, so there was concrete spoilers of the first 3 episodes last night out there. But beyond that, I don't think there were spoilers earlier. I think it would be better if there was a gamer as the secret trader for a better shortlist. I think the problem we run with that, again, is that it further makes it harder for every gamer in the future when they inevitably come across to play this game. I've said I don't think the secret trader should have been a gamer. I just think the secret trader should have been somebody who has people backing them, or someone who would have used the secret trader role as a detective role. If I'm the secret trader, I'm putting up like 2 housewives, and I'm not a gamer or a housewife, right? I'm putting up 2 from each franchise just to see who gets killed. Because then, first of all, in my head, I'm sowing a bit of chaos because in the turret, there could be a housewife, there could be a gamer. Now they're going to fight. Already there's infighting. Love that for me. But also, it can give me a better clue of who is in there and who, like, oh, a gamer died? I'm looking at one of these really powerful housewives as a prime candidate to be a traitor. Oh, one of the housewives died? Which of the gamers am I looking at? I wanted to see it be more used like that. And I think that's why I didn't like Donna for the role, because I feel like Donna went, like, you have basically blanket immunity to do whatever the fuck you want as the secret traitor, because A, the traitors cannot kill you. B, the traitors have no idea who you are. So as the secret traitor, you can put up a list of the most cutthroat players there, or the list of the most powerful players there, and have them be like picked apart and have them be murdered before you enter the turret as a regular yourself. And so by not doing that, Donna went the complete other route, which is both A, boring, and B, awful, is that she put up like the most quiet, like harmless people and one gamer, which meant that that person's going to get cooked. So would traitors be better if it was all gamers? I think we would enjoy it because they're all gamers. Like we would enjoy the cast, but I think you will always run into the same issue, because even if the traitors cast consists of 7 Big Brother players, 6 Survivor players, and like 8 challenge people, let's say. And for the first 3 seasons, there's 2 Big Brother, 1 Survivor person in every turret. Well, guess what? The Big Brother people are cooked by season 4. The challenge people will eventually get a season where it's all of them in the turret, and they're just going to run everyone out. So we are always going to end up in this situation where there's an imbalance. And that is the inherent problem of having your main franchise be anchored by this celebrity format. When you do want to put a celebrity format, but it doesn't feel like just about anybody could get to be the traitor, that's going to be an issue. And that's going to cause people to get, people's reputations to be used against them, essentially. So, or perception. Didn't the episode kind of make it seem like they chose him because he walked in the room? Well, I'm sure they knew exactly which parts to put in there. But come on. It was either him or Monet if they were truly going for like a threat. I always am screaming how excited I am with the traitor picks. I was not excited about any of this season. I don't think the Housewives and Love Island was for you, RHA fan. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of people that have been very hyped on the picks. I mean, until Rob dies, I was very hyped on these picks. I was like, it's fresh, it's new. Just unfortunate that Rob had to, like, not had to, but did leave. Did I watch Rob's interview with Bob? And yes, I did see that with Bob and Boston Rob. Yes. I know between gamers and housewives, that's about half the cast, but could a future season have a turret that's all others? I would love to see that, Gerard, because then you have the housewives looking at the gamers looking at housewives, and like the others can decide which direction they want to go with that. Because I think that maybe, and this is, I mean, it goes down in, maybe the biggest issue with the housewives, there being 2 of them, is that already the housewives are not going to go after each other often. Like, the housewives have figured out hey, we need each other more than anything, versus the gamers who will throw each other under the bus very quickly. So it's tough. I think the 3 traitors should have all had to meet together to decide who to banish. Didn't we have this happen in for the coffin twist last year? Didn't Carolyn get left out of the decision? I feel like I remember this. I also feel like it would be way cooler to get confession with a secret traitor as they do their picks. I think that if they want to ever run back something like this, keep it a secret from the traders. You do not need to keep it a secret from us, because if their move was we want Donna Kelsey on television, making her the secret trader just ensured that she was not on television as much as she could have been if she was a regular trader. So, but they should have broken the meta next season. I mean, that's what I'm saying. On a bias, for us, it would have been better if it didn't happen this season. I think they should do secret trader, but let us know who it is so we get their side too. Justification would be great. Would you say that fans of the show are more fans of the gamers or the housewives? I think it's a mix. I don't think that either side is stronger. I think that I've seen, like, literally, let's put it this way. When I was on X, when I was on Blue Sky overnight, overwhelmingly gamer centric. When I was on TikTok earlier, very much vocal housewives, Love Island fandom. But one thing that was universal is there were comments talking about how Rob went too soon on all of them, including the "We love these trader picks." A lot of "We love these trader picks" videos I saw that still shared that sentiment also. Has anybody played this what if game yet? If Portia had only used her words differently, she wouldn't have been banished. Donna would have, therefore wouldn't have put Rob up as one of the 4 for Schmurder. If Jam Jam hadn't convinced Tiffany to jump on the vote with him for Michael, and Rob wouldn't have voted Michael, then we would have had a tie vote, or then I think Donna would have left, which, yeah. I mean, Portia leaving was ridiculous. I just still don't understand how Michael didn't leave in that spot. Like, Portia should have been the third option and ended up being the main. I just can't believe it. I can just imagine Rob in the future telling gamer contestants that do well, you're welcome, because he walked so they could run. To have someone be so inexperienced in TV be the secret trader was a mistake. I don't think you need TV experience. I just think you need to be skilled at being deceptive. And I don't think Donna was at all. I think you put Candace, Lisa, or Rob Roush in the secret trader spot, and they do 100 times better than Donna. Donna needed her handheld. Every other trader, I think, could do it solo if they needed to. So that's really where I am with that. Read the correct bros on Reddit thread 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, damn. How were they out there? I saw an interview with Portia earlier where she said they edited out most of what she was saying when they made it look like she said I was a traitor. Interesting. Just to fit the narrative, I guess? Like to fit the edit? Causing chaos edit for secret trader? That's what I'm saying. That's what I think they were hoping they were going to get. And that wasn't the case at all. Yeah, Donna, I mean, to be fair, Donna didn't know Rob Roush was a traitor, but yeah. Having Housewives widening the audience so we get more seasons where Rob could potentially return. I think that's the thing I would love for people to keep in mind is that the more they bring people from different universes, the more likely the show is to keep going, and the more likely there is opportunity for more of our favorites that we know to come in and you know, get an opportunity to be on the show. And I think that that's pretty huge. I think we need that. So, like, for example, I'm very curious what the civilian traders is going to look like in the US, because up until this point, the US version, and especially if there's, and I know there's a couple of you there who have only watched the US seasons, it is a vastly different experience than watching any other franchise. Because every other franchise, there's no coming in with the perception. There's no, he is a gamer, or she's like the housewives, they will run their own mothers down, or, oh, this person is conniving. You don't know shit about shit in the other seasons, so that ends up being very fun to watch them play, navigate, and figure it out, you know. So I do recommend checking out, like, especially season 4 of Traitors UK right now has been a banger through 3 episodes, and based on what I've been told, it's been a banger all the way through 6 episodes. So maybe check that out. I wonder why it wasn't always one gamer, one house, and one other. Because once it becomes formulaic like that, Grace, if you are anybody, like you're gonna focus on shit like that. Like, then what's stopping? Let me paint you this, right? So let's say we did go by the way of if you go by the way of, hey, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make let's say Tiffany, Lisa Rinna, and Rob Roush. Okay, we're gonna make Tiffany, Lisa Rinna, Rob Roush the Traitors. And for the last 3 seasons, it's been one of each as well. Then this season, what's stopping the others to go up to the housewives and be like, hey, there's definitely a traitor amongst the gamers. Let's all just band together. No matter what, we banish one of them every time, and then we see what happens. Because then, even as much as like, let's say Tiffany realizes what they're doing in the turret, she can't do anything about it because she's outnumbered in the turret, and also everyone's made this agreement and they're going to just decimate the gamers. That's even worse for a game than what we're getting now. Like, that would be a horrible game. And like, that's what I never want the game to become, is alliance based, and that's just what it is. We just have numbers and we don't care about the game of it all. So that would be tough. I would love to see them just make it random. Hey, fuck it. If you put a cast together where everyone's willing to be a traitor, and you out the gate say it's completely random, we're just shuffling these cards, you're gonna get 3 traitors, we move on, then there's no meta to be done. I still worry that in a random like that, if it's like 3 housewives, then what do we do, No spoilers, but you caught up on UK Traitors, top tier. Ooh, love that, Taylor. I've heard that that's been the case. I've not caught up on it yet, but I'm very excited for tomorrow. I would have been excited for Mora as a traitor. It's big, same. Low key, I think there's a world Mora can get recruited. It's not out. It's not over yet. Was this the first time we actually got to see people talk with Alan on who they wanted to be a traitor? On why? No, this isn't the first time. The Bob Rob podcast was too difficult to listen to with 500 swoosh sounds every 2 seconds. It was very good. It was like a bit of a, what do you call it? Whirlwind. It was 43 minutes to cover 3 episodes, and they had 2 exit interviews within those 43 minutes. I don't know how they did it. I was saying that Rob had another Rob in the castle. Is not sure to try and get out someone with your name in a competition setting. I don't necessarily disagree. I don't think it helped that there were 2 Robs. Basically, he said, I felt really good that morning going into breakfast, so they didn't actually bring him. Oh, right. Yes. Yes, I think what happens is, and I don't know the full method to this, but I believe what happens is they don't get, like, when they get murdered, I believe they find that out in the morning. I think. Like when they come to breakfast, basically. Interesting that profile of Secret Trader on UK and US is similar. Well, Kellyanne, no spoilers. Thankfully, I've been spoiled on the result. But no spoilers. Rob interview is worth checking out for sure on the Fishbot. I already did that, yeah. Are you doing an exit interview with Donna? I'm doing an exit interview with Rob. I've gotten none of the others yet. Unfortunately. I'm waiting on answers, see if we can get them. But right now, it's not looking like it's happening as of yet. But also, from what I've seen, Donna's like the one person no one has an interview with. So there's a world where she was just like, I'm not doing this. A lot of my real life friends that don't watch any CBS reality really like the Traitors. It's a show that's become mass appeal for a reason. The production, the costumes, the treachery, the yelling, the drama, the popcorn, that's really what the show is about. There is some strategy to it, but strategy is not even the first 2 things that matter there, truly. Which is ironic then, considering that a lot of the gamers get targeted because they're good strategists. Is the Rob Medium Dive dropping Monday? Well, I'll tell you this much. It's getting recorded on Sunday. Now, if it's dropping Sunday evening or Monday morning, that I don't know. Sam, if you're still in the chat, maybe you can give us an indicator. I'll vote Christian to be on next. I agree. I think all the game mechanics get fixed if you just randomize the traders and let everyone know it's random. Hey, then there's no meta to look at. We don't know them, but they all know each other on UK. Well, listen. The first season had civilians. Yeah, but I don't even love to consider that, May, as part of the whole discussion because of two things. One, it was a half and half season, and then the second thing is that it was the first season of the US Traitors, a show that was not still a concept that had been played proper. So gamers and alumni from like Housewives franchise, Shaws of Sunset, people who have been on shows knew what they were doing, and the players had no fucking idea what was going on. So that is I think a bad example specifically for that. The first season, the actual civilian season coming up, is going to be a very good indicator to see what the US has to offer as far as casting goes. So I'm very curious how that plays out. I had moments today being mad at David for winning so much money on Dondi. I guarantee Rob would have been on season 3. Oh, hard agree. For sure. The Fisher Pod was quite good, especially the Rob interview, but even the rest was funny. They have good banter, the two of them. They do. I just wish it was like structured a little different. Oh, no worries, Kelly. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Now we're in a turret with Caroline Stanbury, Eric Nam, and Donna Kelsey. Well, that's what I said, Sam, is you want to make it so that, first of all, don't talk shit about Eric Nam, okay? You don't know him. He's actually could be good. But that's the thing. You have to put a cast together where everyone wants to be a traitor. Then you can get something going there. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. That's my liked songs here tonight. Will Rob be allowed to do exit interviews after this week or just the recaps? Rob is going to be on with me for the recaps, and if he would like the exit interviews, are open to him also. If he's allowed to, he's allowed. If he's allowed to, he has my blessing, is what I'm trying to say. You're going to how many big celebrities didn't know Rob on Wednesday. Now know our friend Emily Baker watched him last night. I don't know who that is, Archie fan. Hope all the Traitors fans love Rob as much as we do. I think so. I think they will. Depends what our good friends at NBC say. Sounds good, Sam. I have a Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce tattoo. What? Cupcakes. What? You have the son of your op tattooed? Wow. Long story indeed. I would love Christian on Traitors and Wentworth plus Rob again. Does Rob just get to podcast about the show as normal now? I believe so. Like, I don't see why not. And I'll do you one further, chat. We will be live every week. No early records. We will be live every week, so it's going to be raw. It's weird because I feel protective of Rob, so I'm going to be so mad if I see other pods not giving him the respect he deserves. I'll tell you this, T. Lindy, worry not, because based on what I've seen on the internet, people have been very complimentary to Rob. Everyone has been backing him. Everyone's been kind about him. I think that's something, the power of being a faithful that is good in this show is underrated, especially to like a more casual audience, because what happened was that the Rob being the faithful that got done in by the awful traitors and figuring them out garners a lot of goodwill, I think. I have total curiosity, why do you think they're putting the civilian traitor version on NBC versus Peacock? I think NBC wanted the show. I think NBC wanted something to have in the fall. That's my assumption. Also, I wonder, I think NBC obviously it's gonna be censored and shit. That's the only thing that worries me, is that when you put a show like that on TV, you care a lot, like the time matters. Like, when are they gonna put that out on a Wednesday? Is it gonna be on a Thursday? Is it gonna be like 8 p.m. prime time? Is it gonna be like 10? Because they've done shows at like 11 p.m., which is not good. So, Gamer, you're not wrong. They could just put the people who have said they want to be traitors into the pool. How long do you think Tiffany lasts? They're going after all the gamers? I don't even think they're going after all the gamers. That's not the case to me. I think Tiffany has put herself in trouble by trying to work with Michael. I think Jam Jam is in a bit of trouble for being in this weird feud with Michael. Natalie Anderson's doing fine. She's big chillin'. Rob deserves massive props. He's the first person that I know of to clock a murder in plain sight. There's one more franchise that's happened in, but it's not been the one that what's it called? It's not been the one that one of the ones I've seen. What did you think was happening with your co-host for the pause? Did you think it was all Mike? Okay, I'm gonna share something with you, chat. No digital. I wouldn't even say digital NDA. Just take the information as you will. So I found out about, I don't know how long ago it was. It's not that long ago. Like less than 3 weeks ago. I found out that we got the go ahead that we can have Rob on the pod. So we knew that. So I was like, oh, that's hype. That's awesome. Great. I didn't know that Rob was not doing this pod and that Mike was doing this pod. And that's why last night on the pod, I said that, hey, so we knew this was coming. And by we, I meant we knew Rob was coming onto the podcast. That's what I was trying to allude to. So shout out to Mike and shout out to the team who made sure I didn't know anything else that was going on behind the scenes, to make sure that I didn't, read into anything. I didn't put my detective hat on like, well, why isn't Rob going to be there for the premiere? That wouldn't make sense. For me, it was easy to just assume that, oh, Rob's in New York doing stuff with family. So why would he be on the pod live? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't read anything into it. And again, he's conducted himself so well that I just straight up assumed Rob was going far. So even they could have been like, all right, Rob's not going to be on because he doesn't want to be on for the premiere. And I could have been like, oh, okay. And then just moved on. Because I'm telling you, he did not give going early to me at all. So, but yeah, so I've known Rob is going to be my co-host for a little bit now. So when last week you were like, hey, who's going to be on with you? It was Rob, but I wasn't saying anything, Most comments on the official Traitors parties were bring Rob C back for season 5. I think there's a legitimate chance. Did you see clips of how adamant Chappelle was yesterday that the recap was pre-taped? I have not, no. In my International All-Stars Traitors, Rob and Annabelle are traitor hunters together. That would be a dream come true. What do you think the odds are that Rob will be the one asked back for 5? If he does get the call, do you think he would go again? I don't think Rob says no. Because at this point, he's already played the game and gone out. Even an extra night or day in the castle is a bonus. So I'm glad they gave you the true viewer experience and didn't take that away from you. Same, honestly. Like, it's hard, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm a professional. So if I need to be there, if I need to do because last season, for example, we watched and we pre-recorded the pods, which meant I watched them ahead of time. And we needed to do that, so I did that. And then I was like, please, for the finale, can we not do that? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna do it if it needs to be done. But that's also why I didn't do any watch parties last season. It's not fun for me if I've already watched it. Like, it's not gonna hit. So I'm happy that this season we get to do that. If there is a week where we're not going to be doing them live, I will just let you know ahead of time that I will not be live on Thursday, and we're going to be pre-recording the pod. And then that's you'll know that. That makes sense now why you wouldn't tell us. I just feel like, well, first of all, I was asked to not tell because it would be a fun surprise. Second, I didn't even think for a second to read into anything because I was like, well, it makes sense. Like the whole podcasting side of things, the fact of the matter is Rob didn't get the green light to be able to podcast about this show till very late, till basically when I found out. I think that there must have been a lot of information that got around last season that they were like, we don't want that to happen. And we don't want that to be a thing that's basically spoiler circulating. I can back that up. We didn't know shit, and we made sure to be deliberate in making sure he makes sure no pause or anything. Yes, and thank you, Sam. I do appreciate y'all for that. Not gonna lie, I assumed it was Rob when you weren't telling us. Sorry for referencing. No, you're good. You're good, Kellyanne. Found the article. It was titled "Portia Williams reacts to shocking ... Podcasts were bad last season. Wow, gamer. Oh, you meant as far as spoilers go. I almost took offense. I was like, ouch, to my face. Check this. Do you agree or disagree? Is Rappaport ruining the Traitors season 4? And they linked an article from Vulture. All right. Y'all want to look at this article together? We can do that. Sorry. Fuck Google Chrome, dude. Hold on. You've reached your monthly article limit. Okay, fuck this. You know, I'm not even gonna read this fucking article now. I didn't see what's posted in the chat there last night, but I hope it wasn't something that really spoiled anything big. Oh, the person who posted, basically what they said was, first of all, they said, oh, they're doing the secret traitor twist here also, like the UK. To which at that point I was like, hey, just a heads up. Don't do that. Do not spoil the show for me, please. I've been very adamant. And like, I literally couldn't have made a bigger box next to my name showing where we were in the runtime. And I vocalized that so they would know, hey, respect the spoiler-free section. And then we were speculating. I was like, all right, my final guesses for the Traitors are so, and so. And then they wrote, let's just say, Pooya, you're not wrong. And I was like, why the fuck would you tell me when I'm about to find out in like 15 minutes? Like, don't put that out there. And like, specifically, not even just for me, don't put it out there for the 400 other people that are here. Do you know how many people left the chat last night and did not end up partaking in hanging out with us because they were terrified of getting spoiled? Quite a few people left and did not come back. And I was just like, that is such a shitty thing to do. I've only ever banned people on stream who have been like random bot accounts that have come in and like immediately said like shady shit. This was a person who's been here like weekly and been asking questions. So I was just like, what are we doing? Like, why are you doing this? I was very clear. And I definitely brought it up a couple of times of like, hey, don't do that. So I'm usually behind you, but watching your Discord, I was like 30 seconds ahead based on your commentary, which makes sense because I was the one streaming it. If I wasn't the one streaming it, it would have been a little bit more balanced. But you were getting my direct stream, but there's always a delay with stream a little bit as well, like with broadcasting. Superiority complex? Yeah, probably. I had the chat hidden too. Honestly, that was the best call you could have made. Do you think we are ready for an All-Stars Traitors International season? We've been ready for that. Love for us. I think we've been ready. I think that would be fun. I think that you could put literally anybody in there and it would be fine, to me. So, but is the world ready? Is the production companies ready? Are the franchises ready? That's a whole different question. But like if AU versus the world was any indicator, people will pull up for these shows. I just sneaked over one time and I got spoiled because you were raising a toast for Rob. Oh no, Pixie, that is the worst time to come in. I logged out. I'm sorry. I logged out early because I didn't make it through the first episode before the bed called my name. Oh no, Jess. I left because I couldn't stay up so late to watch all three. So to my dismay, I started on episode 3 to see if Rob was going to make it through the first drop. Oh my God, Jill. I can't believe you went there. I kept the stream open but minimized so I could hear you, but kept the show in Discord on screen. Honestly, that was the right move, I think. Did you know Rob was eliminated in the first drop of episodes? I'm guessing you knew Rob would be recapping the episodes with you on RHAP, as you didn't share who your co-host was when asked before, but didn't want to spoil it for us. No, so as I've already said, I didn't want to spoil Rob being the podcaster with me, because I had just recently found out, and up until that point, I had been honest in that fact that I didn't know who it was. And when we found out it was Rob. Before that, the plan was to have a new person weekly. I was gonna have like, you know, I was gonna get an invite sent out to like a Danielle Reyes and stuff like that. That was the plan. So then when it was like, oh, Rob's gonna be there, I was like, oh hell yeah. And like at this point, I think we were all convinced that Rob wasn't gonna be on with me. So it was all about the surprise element. That's really what it was. Um Oh my God, Sam Phelan went to bed after one episode of Traitors US because he thought only one episode happened last night. That is so funny. That is so fucking funny. There are so many great people from International Traders. Give me Robin, Alan Carr, and Annabelle and Netta as besties. Hey, that's a dream cast right there. I didn't mean to pin this. That's my bad. Um, Hot take: Michael is amazing for the roundtable drama. Curb, welcome in with the first time chat. See, here's my problem with Michael Rappaport. I think that everyone always looks at it as like, ooh, max drama equals great. Or like, oh, if a person's going to be loud at the roundtable, they're going to make it entertaining. I think what you are quickly seeing already happen is that by the second roundtable, they are over him. And if they are over him, they do not give a shit about him. And so he's just taking air. Like even if you're happy and you know it moment falls flat because first of all, Jam Jam eats him up with one line and like no one cares anymore. They're like, this is just a distraction. We actually had a conversation on the patron Q&A today and someone brought up Cedric from Canada too. And I thought that was an apt comparison that like it gets to a point where the loud and wrong person just stops being entertaining and just becomes grating. And I feel like we're already there now. So that's the problem for me. Like, I don't think there's drama if the other person just lost the will to fight them. I'd wondered if you gotten Danielle Reyes to pod with you. She would have been one of the ones for sure. Harry from UK was sitting behind two people watching the new UK season on a plane right in front of him. That's amazing. I'll say that I'm excited to see how Natalie and Monet's friendship goes. I agree. It's a fun pairing. They're going to drag him to the end. I think they're going to mercy kill him at some point. There's no way he's just going to straight up make it all the way. All right, next question is, I think they didn't tease the Secret Trader preseason because they knew it turned out to be a nothing burger. Thoughts? It definitely ended up being, I mean, the fact of the matter is they didn't even get to meet their Secret Trader in the turret. So I don't think that's a bad shout. I don't think that's a bad shout. But I also am curious is like, did the UK say, hey, we're going to promote it. We're going to tease it. Don't say it ahead of us. I don't know. But I think more likely what you said is true. I think it ultimately ended up not mattering. As in, by episode 2.5, it didn't matter. He's just a distraction. Nobody's using what he's saying in their vote. Right. At least there's still people left to root for. I was loving Natalie. I missed her on my TV. I'm also rooting for Tiffany and Monet. There's quite a few people for me outside of those three. I am rooting for the Traitors, Candace, Lisa, and Rob. I'm rooting for Maura. I'm excited to see what she does. Kristen is on 50-50 bubble right now for me. I need to see more. I'm rooting for Ron Funches to make a redemption arc because I'm very sad for him right now, but that first vote is almost unanimous without Michael, Ron pushing. This entire group seems like groupthink vote outs. Ron and Michael are going to be the next two vote outs. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because Tiffany's name is going to start being put out there by Colton. So we'll see if that does anything. Someone asked a question to just check in on me, Liana, make sure we're safe, we're okay. We're fine. We are not smack dab in the middle of the city, which is great. And I don't leave my house, which is also great. Is it stressful and very odd times? Absolutely. But I'm trying to not think about it because it can be a lot for me. I'm disappointed with all but one murder option. Guess which one? Dun dun dun. When Ron mentioned Ian passed away, that was so funny. That was hilarious for him to phrase it like that. Do they film a reunion? I believe they will be. I don't see why not. Should RHAP stop going on reality competition shows? Asia, Donlin, and now Rob. Thank God for baby Andy. I think there's more RHAP folks than you know, though. Sophie B, RHAP person. Omer Zahir, RHAP person. Kevin Jacobs, RHAP person. There's a lot of RHAP folk who have gone and done well. I believe Marianne, RHAP person. Rachel Lamont, RHAP patron. Teeny, fan of RHAP. Podcasters, though? Well, Baby Andy doesn't count as a podcaster. Neither did Brandon Donlin. Brandon Donlin became a podcaster after the fact. But can a podcaster break the curse? That's the question. Because the thing is, do I want to put more of my friends on it? Yeah, Fishback was on 31 and went farther than third episode, so I'm too cheap to be a patron. That's very fair. Listen, that's valid. You're a patron. If you're a listener, you're a listener. That counts. But even with 1 million, Marianne won't subscribe. That's kind of gangster. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, nah, I'm still not doing it. Tyson on Winners at War and hopefully on House of Villains. Yeah, once you become a podcaster, do you just count as part of the podcast team? Probably, right? I say this anonymously because Swifties scare me. Oh yeah, Liv, can you repin the advice form, please? I find both Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce extremely annoying and learned everything about them against my will. I now have another reason to dislike the Kelce family, LOL. I will say I'm happy Donna Kelce's gone from the show. And it's not because because I feel like she, was not great as a secret traitor. It was going to be, and I'm sorry I paused the music right before a drop. It is offensive. And 100% of it comes down to this main thing for me. And that is the fact that if I had to hear one more confessional of someone be overly kind to Donna Kelce, like, it was so transparent what Colton was doing. When Colton was like, she reminds me of my mom, and in any other circumstances, I wouldn't vote her out, except for this one occasion. And, I'm going to do it because I am a faithful, and I'm here to catch traitors. It was like, stop glazing. Like, I know what you're doing. You're basically trying to be like, don't be mad at me. I love her. She's like my mother, but I'm going to do it anyway. Or then when Rob Rush is like, is she married? Like, I really like her. No, I really, really like her. It's like, shut the fuck up, please. Like, combine that with every person talking about how they don't want to anger the Swifties. Like, this is just ridiculous to me. And this is coming. This is when I can show you that, there ain't no hypocrisy here, baby. You try and kowtow to someone at home, I will call it out. I don't give a shit. Ainsley, thank you for the primes. Appreciate it. Welcome back from month number 18. Drop. The other day I said I hope Taylor Swift is never my patient and got dirty looks. She's like, just meant I hope she doesn't need a liver transplant, but I still don't like her. Oh my God. Can't wait for Andy Coops to come out of reality retirement to host the Celebrity Traitors with Rob Sesternino as the mole. Well, that is never going to happen. I'm having trouble getting verified to end this. Keeps saying I have VPN on, but I don't. Is there another way to verify? Do unconnect and reconnect. Your unjoin and rejoin your connection on Discord. Colton was on screen too much. I don't disagree with you. Absolutely was. What up, crew? Just got done watching John Anton commentating the U.S. National Championships. Oh, shit. Okay, Gina. Chappelle and your reaction to Rob are talking about Donna pieced together was great. I was like, come on, don't do it now. Don't do it now. Don't rain on my parade. Sorry. Who on the Traitors season 4 has been the most disappointing? I mean, not to pile on, but Donna. I would say I was very keen to see Donna play, even though, and I thought she was going to be a traitor. I just think they did her a disservice by putting her as a secret traitor. I would say another person that I found to be disappointing so far is what's it called? Let me look at the cast real quick. Oh, you know what? I'll say this much. Dorinda. Dorinda is the person y'all brought back. What has Dorinda done in 3 episodes except for being near tears for making breakfast? Like, she's done nothing yet. And this is the person who was iconic, right? So why are they not being iconic? Ainsley said night. Ainsley, did you leave? Is that what it was? Did she get the first Traitors standing ovation? It's possible. Same with Donna. Also thought she was going to be able to be villainous. Yes. And that fell flat. Yes. Kristen and Eric too. Yeah. Oh, Johnny Weir also. Big disappointment so far. I'm sad that Mark Bass is invisible. He's so fun in Dancing with the Stars. And apparently a super fan. So where's Mark? Oh, got you, Ainsley. Out to the gamers who are you rooting for? Candace, Lisa, Rob Roush, Monet, Ron Funches, Mora. I'm going to open the cast and look at it again. Did I miss anybody? Eric Nam could potentially have a redemption arc with me. Would love to say Kristen's name, but right now I just don't feel like Kristen's giving me what I need yet, but it could still happen. Oh, you know who else is a huge disappointment? Stephen Coletti. Stephen Coletti just exists. Exists. It's just there. And like, I'm not compelled. I'm not whelmed. Nothing. I'm nothing him, which I think is the worst thing you can do, quite frankly. So... How come there's only audio, no YouTube video for you and Liana's Lounge this week? There was a video for me and Liana's Lounge this week. Or which week are you talking about? Because a new episode for 51 has not gone out. If you're talking about... sorry, 52. No, 50. If you're talking about 50, there was a video. Here, just in case you're in the chat... Here you go. And as I see Donna at all in the push the cart challenge, do we think they let her sit out or they just miss her? I don't know. I wasn't paying that close of attention. I want a Tiffany Mora Monet win as faithfuls. I will not be letting these OG traders win this season. I'm fine with them winning. I'm not gonna lie. I think low key, I almost, now that Rob's gone, I'm very okay with a trader win. I feel like a trader win is good for the franchise. Enough. Faithful's winning is a boring end game in most scenarios. I see him and then immediately forget he's on the show when he's off the screen. Right. Not only minutes about conserving family around, they're doing okay. Listen, I don't want to speak on... I don't want to speak too much about my personal, my family life, but I have not been able to contact my dad or hear from my dad since yesterday because they've cut off all internet and call access to Iran. So hopefully he's fine. I think he's fine. I mean, my dad's not in like the center of anything and he's probably home, but like it's sad, but it is what it is. Stephen Coletti was a huge fill in casting. They could have cast Kristen Cavallari instead. And I need to see Rachel Lindsay play the Traitors, not Colton. Bachelorette, folks, back me up. Is the final question in the form as of right now. Yeah, I mean, Stephen Coletti has done nothing. And like the one confessional we got from was him being like acting a hero of like, oh, my mama didn't raise me this way, so I'm gonna give this to a woman. It's like, all right, guy, whatever. Also, Chad, I hope that my concern with negativity around the, like, I think being upset about the show is absolutely fair game. But what I don't want is for the other fandoms to be like, no, the gamer fandom is like negative and bad, because that does bleed into the players, and then that does bleed into the perception for, you know, the gamers, which I don't love. Sorry, just doing a quick readjust. So, like, I don't want that to, you know, we talk about the Swifties being this, that, or like, oh, this fandom is weird. And then here we are being like angry. The fact that they cast problematic people this season and they lasted longer than Rob is still what infuriates me. I don't disagree. Why'd they platform them in the first place? If the Housewife fandom dared to call the gamer fandom negative, that would be so incredibly unlike as someone who's a fandom of both. Rob should be on the last episode reunion show, right? Absolutely. I would be very surprised if Rob is. I mean, if they don't do a reunion show, then no. But if they do a reunion show, yeah. I don't think people need to just be upset about Rob for a few days and move forward. I think that's what's going to happen. We're all in the grieving process. And what's happening to the gamers is similar to what happened to Housewives last season. No, it's near identical. 2 gamers went out back to back. 2 Housewives went out back to back. Natalie called Rappaport Rocker 2.0 on her IG today. Never doubted her. Never doubted her. I'm a fan of all these competition reality shows, and the Housewives, so that is a plus for me. That's a bonus. You get a both. The reunion show is airing right after the final episode. Yeah, that's how they've been doing it lately. So we're going to have a fun night watching that together. There's nothing close. Oh, we survived the White Locust. We can survive anything. This is true. Well, they have Boston Rob host the reunion show instead of Andy Cohen. If they have Boston Rob and Bob the Drag Queen do it instead of Andy, I would love it. I unfortunately do not think we can rid ourselves of Andy. That's the sad reality. So, February 26th, 4 days after my birthday, chat. Should be fun. Should be fun. All right, I'm all caught up with the forum. If anyone would like to submit any other anonymous questions, go ahead. But otherwise, you're good to keep doing it in the chat also. Bob and Rob would be a good combo. And it would also add more validity to their podcast and more like endorsement to the podcast as well. So... You should let Rob host the reunion? Okay. Well, that would feel like a conflict of interest, I feel like. Just a little bit of conflict of interest. Just unfortunate this season was the gamers' turn. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's like you never want you to pay the invoice, and that's exactly what happened here. Potential perk of Andy hosting. Andy and Rob meet each other and hit it off. Rob then gets to be the bartender on Watch What Happens Live. Rob is a smash hit and Bravo fans love him. He then gets to be a regular guest on Archivy, explodes even further. I mean, that sounds like a good little bit of fiction, like not fiction, but manifestation, if I've ever seen it. That'd be cool. Who do you think the Traitors should kill next for their game? So the options were what? Were Eric, Ron, Kristen, and Caroline. I like the idea of killing Caroline just to be like, just to have people be like, it's not going to be, one of the traitors is not a housewife. I still think leaving it be just Dorinda and the two of them is not ideal. So maybe not. I definitely think you leave Ron. It looks like Ron could get banished very soon. So why the fuck would you bother? That leaves Eric and that leaves Kristen. I think that Kristen has, to me, more potential as a strategic player than Eric does. And by strategic, I mean like savvy, like detective work, potentially. Whereas Eric seems like he might be a little bit more in the golden retriever role. But I think editly speaking, I'm going with Eric being the next one done. But I think Kristen makes sense. Is the Traitors truly your favorite show, or do you like it just because you cover it? Okay, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, what came first is that I got the opportunity to cover the show, and then it became my favorite show. Like, I don't think I've ever felt like I understand a show more than I do the Traitors. And I think that you can see that based on the way I speak about it. I am a very naturally insecure person and uncertain person. I never want to speak with absolutes because I never feel absolute when I speak about things. The Traitors is the one show where I felt very confident about what I'm saying when I'm saying it. So it has become very quickly a franchise that I've loved and appreciate. And it's both entertaining for me. There's some good strategic maneuvers, but the social game matters the most, which is what I'm always gravitating towards when it comes to Survivor or Big Brother. So it kind of worked out for me, really. You know, that's what it was. Had you watched UK Season 1 in real time? I watched UK Season 1 the couple of weeks prior to watching US 1 before US 1 dropped. But I didn't watch it live. I watched it like on a week delay from everybody else, basically. The Traitors said Kristen was smart and dangerous. And I mean, they've been saying getting rid of the smart people has been their MO this whole time. So Kristen should be in danger. What do you think about Tiffany's strategy so far in the game? Specifically, do you think her targeting Jam Jam and her another gamer theory could be good for her or bad for her in the long run? I think she's convinced Jam Jam's bad, which should exonerate her. So in her mind, if I push Jam Jam out and confirm he's a traitor, people will leave me alone and I can survive because I'm working with Michael, who is a traitor also, which again, that part I don't quite understand. I think it's fine if she truly thinks Jam Jam is a traitor and is going for him. The problem is we have the full knowledge that Jam Jam is not a traitor. And I think getting it down to just her and Natalie is bad for her because if they're still convinced one of the gamers is a traitor, I don't think they're looking at Natalie right now. They're going to look at the person who's friends with Michael Rappaport in her. So that's not ideal. Also, the traitor angel strategy is a little outdated at this point, respectfully, because I think that the traitor angel strategy only works if you've got a couple of angels in the traitors and if they are people who are not on the radar. Like, I think Dylan, it worked out for Dylan because you could argue Boston Rob was his traitor angel for a little bit, but secretly what was really his traitor angel was Danielle Reyes and Carolyn and the friendship he had with them, because while they were not being mentioned, they were keeping him safe in the turret in addition to Boston Rob. So that helped more than, even by her logic, if Michael Rappaport is a traitor, that is the most short-term loan deal that you could ask for safety, because Michael's days are numbered in this house. So Australia one was the first one to come out, right? I think it was the first one to get broadcast, maybe, but not the first one to get filmed. I think something like that. Last time was the first time I heard the phrase traitor angel. I think I understand about your Dylan comparisons. Yeah, the concept is relatively simple. It's if I befriend a traitor, they're not going to kill me. So I'll be safe from murders and I can just focus on not getting banished. Is the gist of it. But yeah, her long run game, I'm nervous for. Her short run, she should be okay. But AU came out in November and then UK came out in December. There we go, Red Wings. Thank you for the clarification. Something really extraordinary is going to have to happen moving forward for this not to be one of my least favorite seasons of the franchise. I think as things stand right now, I think the win of season 1 was iconic and put it up there for me. But I still so far this could be fine. I'm not convinced that it's gone sour yet. I think it all comes down to who is left by the midway point. If, let's say, like next episode, we lose Monet, we lose Ron, we lose, because there's 2 episodes, right? Yeah, Monet, Ron, Eric, and say Jam Jam. That is 4 people leaving, 3 of which have been big parts of the story and big personalities. And we're going to be left with your Rappaports, your Colettis, Tara, who's been silent, Mark, who's been invisible, Dorinda, who's just been there, Caroline, who's just been there. Then, yeah, I'm going to start, being like, that's not looking great. Because I think that as much as I can and would root for Traitor win, I'm not rooting for a steamroll on either side. I'm not rooting for the Traitors to have complete control. I'm not rooting for the Faithfuls to completely have the Traitors locked, which we saw the Traitors get completely locked in season 2. And last year we saw the Traitors completely give the win to the Faithful. So, yeah. I think we'll be able to look at the start of the season more objectively in a few weeks, similar to how we were able to get back on board with 27. Here's the thing, Michael, for me. If Rob hadn't left last night, I would have come into the pod saying that these were a brilliant 3 episodes of television. I think that it was and I think it's because I've had to wire this way for podcasting. I very quickly had to get over Rob not being there to continue watching the show, to keep in mind what I need to talk about last night. And so the Ron Funches controlling a vote is hilarious to me, because how the fuck did he do that? I never would have expected it for him. Donna being the first traitor banished, a traitor that was unveiled to the audience for the first time as someone they didn't know as the traitor. I think watching Rob Roush become a very strong traitor character was very fun. Watching again, the whole sequence of Candace doing the conga line, Rob clocking it, Rob making him and Tiffany hide, then Rob revealing it to Candace, only for Candace to not make it in time. That was cinema. All of that was cinema. I think also watching Lisa Rinna be a traitor has been very compelling and very fun. And then Jam Jam being on the back foot, kind of playing defense with Michael Rappaport has been good, because I feel like it's protecting Jam Jam, but also it's kind of kept Michael Rappaport at bay for a little bit here, and also allowed him to show his true colors, which I'm happy about. Watching Tiffany put some strategy out there, Tiffany and Rob working together, was a delight. Then watching Tiffany try and do a different strat has been fun to see. So this was a very fun premiere. I think for me, the hardest part and the main part that made it made it icky was Rob leaving. That was truly the part for me. That was the issue. That was the tough part. Didn't Alex in a preseason press a while ago that something will happen that is one of his favorite moments in the history of the series? Yeah, I'm curious what that is now. I don't know how you were so awake after the last 24 hours you had. I slept last night. I'm still exhausted. Hope you get some good rest. Oh, I will be getting my sleep. Don't you worry. Tonight is going to be an early one, but it's going to be good. I'm going to get my sleep in. I wonder if a traitor will slip and mention Donna as a secret traitor. It would be easy to cover up. Well, they're not going to know what a secret traitor is, but I don't think they will. I don't think Rob R is a great traitor. I think he's just a hot white guy who gets a pass for being low key. I think here's the problem. I understand the vision. For me, the reason why I think he's doing well is a couple of things. In no world did I ever think he was going to be actively thinking about the game this way. The fact that he understands when to amp up the faithful energy, I appreciate. Watching him talk to people has been very fascinating. He's able to like him and Natalie share this moment right before he walks into the kitchen for the murder in plain sight stuff. And it's very clearly that he's made some kind of a bond with her. So he's working the game. He recognizes that picking Mora and going to bat for her will allow Mora to make him like feel reassured about him, and Mora will continue telling everyone that he's a faithful. Mora having Rob as the only person that she knows is going to be a huge endorsement for him. So like I think he's a little more proactive than I anticipated, which is why I like this pick for him. And then I think the other part also is that watching, like, I think it's just because I think he's going to get a pass for being low key that I think also helps him, because who is looking at this man as a traitor? Truly, who is looking at this man to be the traitor? That's my thing. Who's going to look at him? Right now, no one's looking at him. So, there's something that happens and it's just so insane, man. And so they go fucking nuts. And there's some behavior that happens because of it that is just outlandish. It's certainly the best moment of Traitors TV history. I wouldn't say that's happened yet, so I'm very intrigued what that is. I was wondering if that one I was talking about was the secret traitor or reveal or Donna's secret traitor. I doubt it. It wasn't that big of a moment. He must smell amazing. Why would Rob C say the kill in plain sight line to the person who started the conga line? I think that Rob, and this is my read until I ask him myself, I think Rob and Candace were allies, and I do not think Rob thought Candace was a traitor at all. I think what happens in that moment likely is he's just saying his theory, and then he's like, who started the conga line? Did you start the conga line? Because, like, you know, you'd be like, oh, who ate the last, did you eat the last piece of pizza? You're like, no, I didn't. Or yes, I did. I don't think just because she said, yes, I did, it's like Rob knew Candace did it. I think Rob then leaves that conversation being like, oh my God, Candace could be a traitor. Like that might be the epiphany, but we'll find out. But my read up until this point was that he was good with Candace. It was not like a accusation. It was just more of a, because why is he giving her a heads up if he, you know, knows for a fact she started the conga line? Oh, my throat's starting to hurt. Rob is a little bit of a sociopath, so being a traitor works for him. I'll be surprised if he was talking about something in the first 3 apps. Right. All right. Will Rob start a conga line at the next live event? When I tell you, I truly believe Rob never wants to hear the words conga line ever again. I think it's something that he never thought would be ruined for him, but promptly is. Does Rob know how the rest plays out? Where do they usually do the reunion? I don't know where they, well, when do they usually do the reunion? I don't know when they do it. I don't think they've done it yet. I also don't know if he knows how the rest plays out. No idea. But I'm not concerned because I think ultimately, here's what Rob's not going to do. Spoil the season and allow for us to get spoiled on anything he says. And I think he's done a good damn job of proving that for the last however months since he's been back from the show. They filmed the reunion a week or two before it aired, or there we go. So like February is what we're looking at maybe. Do you think the show is using too many twists too early? They already did a murder in plain sight and now the in-person murder. Will the show have more to do later, or will we just have straightforward turret conversation moving forward? I don't know. We kind of saw this happen with Traitors Canada this year, where there were a lot more twisty murders than ever before. Early on too. Like I feel like if I remember correctly, it felt like the first like couple of cycles, it was just murders that were unconventional. So it just might be them messing with the formula a little bit to see what they can do with it. I think also, could this be like a direct attempt to overcorrect the whole like oh, we don't want like a random shot be to take out one of our greats. We want it to be a little more justified, so a short list could be more justified, or oh, they volunteered for this could be more justified. I don't know. It's like to take the blame away. I don't know. So you're saying that if anyone mentions conga line, we yell hide? Exactly, Bugbear. That's the move. That's the meta. I don't think we want to hear the word line dance with Rob in the room. Oh, I think I don't want to hear the word line dance regardless as well. I was pretty sure Rob went far because of how he acted. Same. He did a great job of not giving the game away. I'm telling you, I was convinced he was fine this entire time. Like, I genuinely thought, like, I wrote in my predictions New Year's Eve, I said, what, final 8 or final 9? I didn't think he was winning, but I was like, he's going to make it far. He's going to make a deep impact. That's what I thought was going to happen. I worry all the special murders will start to become like post-merge Survivor, where normal is incredibly rare. It's entirely possible, but I hope not. We don't need a twist for every murder. Like, I think that the let the traitors cook. Also, don't like, tie their hands on things. Can you dissect the pairings that came about in the last challenge in the episode? Let's see. Johnny and Eric. Not much to dissect there. You had Michael and Tiffany, which Tiffany was doing because she believes Michael to be a traitor and wants to work close with him. You had let's see. We had Mora and Rob, which obviously good marination from Rob there with Mora. Was it Was it Colton and Jam Jam? No, it wasn't. It was Colton and Caroline, right? And Colton fumbled there. I kind of want Caroline to leave for Colton to feel bad. Is that wrong? I kind of want that to happen. You had Candace and Tara Lipinski, who Tara did say Candace is her girl. So I feel like Tara's going to be safe for a little bit here as a faithful. I think she ain't going nowhere. Was it Steven Coletti and Jam Jam? Who was with Jam Jam? And then Kristen Kish was with... Oh, and then it was Lisa and Dorinda. Oh, was it Mark and Kristen Kish? I think. Yeah. Yeah. So there's not much to talk about as far as pairings. I think the most unique pairing that ends up mattering here, I'm going to say, is Candace, Tara, Natalie Monet, and Mora and Rob. I think everybody else was, and Lisa and Dorinda, obviously both housewives, but everybody else I feel like was let's just pair up so that we're not paired up. Do people really think that Tara and Johnny are pulling off not being close? I don't know if they're pulling anything. I think they're just not being seen as threatening, if anything. That's it. I don't think there's anything else coming out of that, ultimately. So... do you think they're hiding the Johnny Tara relationship like they did with Danielle Brittany at the beginning of the season? No, they've been very open with the relationships that they've had here. I also don't think they were hiding the Danielle Brittany relationship necessarily, as in of it existing. I guess like they didn't show us how close they were working together, but I just don't think Johnny and Tara have been impactful. That's really what it is. Jen, welcome in. Yeah, I don't think so, Red Wings. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% on that. Because there's every bit of chance they're still talking fine and like nothing's coming out of it. Assuming even one person has watched the Winter Olympics, everyone should know how close they are, but it's hard to say. Yeah, it's hard to know. Like, it's hard to know what people know. Like, absolutely hard to know what people know. There's every bit of chance that no one knows. And there's a bit of chance that like at least 5 of them know and are not saying anything. So... I never know what knowledge people have and what knowledge people don't have. Like, I say this as somebody who has watched football, at least only Super Bowls for the last decade, and then like the last 3 seasons watched some more games. Had it not been for the very public relationship between Travis and Taylor, I will admit, if I was on this cast and I met Donna, I wouldn't know who she is initially. So I have to be like, oh, her sons are in the NFL. And I'd be like, oh, I think I've seen that lady. She wore like a jersey that was a half and half, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that. And that's all I would know. Whereas I know more because of this very publicized relationship that has made it more like on my radar. But you put Donna Kelsey in a room with like every other high profile celebrity, Taryn will not know any of them, including Donna Kelsey. So it really depends on the person. Do you remember Tara saying that they wanted to distance themselves from each other? Yes. For all we know, everyone knows it, but it's not been a big roundtable thing. Exactly. It's just not mattered. Which, I mean, honestly, I don't see why it would have mattered. Outside, like, I feel like no one's being punished for, like, no one's talking about someone being suspect because they're a gamer. That's not come up. No one's being a suspect for being a housewife. Those connections are not coming up right now. And so why would Johnny and Tara's come up either? What should Ron do to get back with the faithful? I don't fucking know. I feel like Ron is in a very unique position where his name is never gonna go away. I think that he just needs a friend to reintegrate him with the group. So we'll see. Marps tonight. I know I had promised last week I would, Lori, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to commit to that promise tonight. Just on account of I am on fumes tonight. And definitely need to go to bed. ASAP Rocky. I think we'll see some spotlight on the other groups of people now that the two prominent gamers are gone, so their screen time needs to go elsewhere. Well, Donna's gone, who was getting a lot of content. Rob is gone, who was getting a lot of content as well. Portia was getting a lot of content. Ian was, I'll say this sadly, was just there. I don't think Ian had a lot of content at all. But 3 big names, big stories have left, so other people should be getting that camera time. So we'll see. I'm sad. I didn't know much about Portia, but she seemed like a lot of fun. Also gone too soon. Do you see that Asian watched the premiere with Ian? Feels so bad for him and Rob. I can't imagine how it feels to be someone who's gone on one of these shows and then goes out early and then just has to sit with that information the entire time while watching people talk about how you're going to do on a show. Like, that would be heartbreaking for me. That would be a lot. So, all right, chat. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and call last call on the form. If you have any more questions you want to submit in the form, go ahead and do so. And then otherwise, we'll start landing the plane a little bit here. Ian says it was still better than BB22. See, I believe him. Then good. Like, that was a one-night affair for him. And he's like, nope, still better. Still better. I'm playing surprised with the lack of Johnny and Tara content so far. I thought they were going to dominate my screen. I mean, I went as far as to put Johnny in my Traitor predictions because I assumed that they would want to promote the Winter Olympics coming up, but not really. Ian said in an interview that messed up with Rob R before they picked Traitors. What does that mean? What do you mean? What do you say? Portia's hilarious. If anyone watched Housewives of Atlanta, they would know that her slip-ups were just her. That's what I've heard. And I said this to stream last night, but if you slip up multiple times, the more you slip up, the less I think you are a traitor, because I'd be like, this is just an unfiltered individual who just says things. A traitor would be trying to be very particular with what they're saying, and a slip up would definitely put fear and panic into them. They wouldn't continue making that mistake again and again and again, like mindlessly. I just don't see it that way. Still got 4 weeks until the Olympics, so maybe they'll get a lot of airtime. That it's entirely possible that the next 2 episodes are all them. So he told Mike that they were talking about snakes, and he might have went overboard about how much he knew. Gave up the impression that he was smart. Oh, I see. Fuck my rapper. Hi everyone. Pred, welcome. It seems like every slip up has really just been an accident because they are all people. Exactly. So what you're saying is if you're a traitor, just slip up a lot and use it as cover. I mean, it depends on the type of person you are. I don't think like a gamer can ever get away with a slip up accident, honestly. So, but like, for example, Rappaport slipped up and they're not getting rid of him. Either they think he's a traitor and they're like, we'll just keep him because who the fuck cares? Or they just are like, we're not going to bother because who gives a shit about him? He's not a threat to our games or anything. If I was at that last roundtable, I'd be sus of Tiffany asking Donna who she thought was a traitor. It kind of seemed like she was trying to take the heat off of her. Do you agree? Um, no, I don't think Tiffany was really being protective of Donna. I think that it's more so they were all clearly thinking the same thing, that Donna's a traitor, and but they all didn't want to just be like, "Shut up, you're a traitor, go home." They were like, "No, you have to fight for it." Or Donna, if you don't tell us things, we won't know. Or Donna, who is a traitor to you? It was like they were trying to get anything out of her before they voted her anyway, and also to make it seem more civil as to what they were doing. Obviously, I am a faithful. That's fair. That's fair, Howie. Have you checked in with Hannah after the first 3 episodes? Nah. You mean Hannah Chada? No. I haven't hit her up to be like, hey, what you thought? What you think so far? A pair of co-hosts for Global Traders. Who do you pick to work best together? Um, a pair. Kareen's one of them. I think a combination of Kareen and Alan would go stupid because they both act the same way. Like they're both putting on a bit of a performance. I think the two of them as a combination would be amazing. I'm trying to figure out who I would want Claudia to host with. Claudia and the host of Ireland would be really good combination also. And if you've not seen Ireland, you're doing yourself a disservice. She was incredible, and the season was very fun also. You'll need to ask Rob why he voted for Michael. He had to know he was not a traitor. Oh, I have no doubt in my mind Rob didn't think Michael was a traitor. I think Rob saw him as a distraction and wanted to vote him out. I don't think Rob at any point thought Portia was bad. And it really came down to why, if anything, he didn't vote for Donna. But like, I don't know. We'll find out exactly what happened there. Me finding out that Potty is on Dancing with the Stars Ireland the other day, I lost my mind, by the way. The collective, I didn't kill them. He is? Yep. Yep, he is. Someone in the chat told me. Yes, Siobhan. Yes. If I was in the game US4, I'd probably assume the people that voted Donna first round were faithful. As I think it's unlikely a traitor turns on the first round table. That's very fair. Siobhan is also the host of the Great Pottery Throwdown. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's a pottery competition. Have you spoken to Scally about Rob R being picked as a traitor? I have not, you know. He did a stream last night. Was anyone there? Did you get his thoughts on Rob Rausch as the traitor? Yeah, it's a Great British Breakup of pottery. That makes sense. I'm going to call this last question in the form. I'm going to close the form. Not a question. Okay, we're ending on not a question. But just wanted to tell you again what a great job you do with all your pods, but especially with the traders. I know you get nervous sometimes, especially about covering the season with Rob, but I always love listening to what you have to say, and you do an amazing job at keeping the flow going on a pod and vibing with a guest. Thank you so much, question asker. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I mean, I feel like especially, sorry, especially this season, I felt like I was flying solo. Obviously, Rob was off playing the game when we did all the preseason stuff. And then when we did the player previews, I did them all solo. Because, Rob was there with me for the gamers last year. And then I did the rest myself. But I feel like it's one of those moments where doing podcasts like that is good practice to get better at doing it when it gets real, when it becomes like a lot more prevalent. And so I felt a lot more prepared for this season than I have for any other season. And I think part of it has to do with the fact that I did do all of those projects, like, without Rob there. Because I cover Traitors UK, solo with Annabelle. I covered Traitors Canada with Scally. That's been a lot of practice getting exit interviews there. But Traitors US feels like the biggest platform. Like, look, to put it into perspective, the episode recap from last night on YouTube has what's the view count on that? 28,000 views in less than a day, 21 hours ago. That is Big Brother numbers, my friends. That is a lot of numbers. That is a lot of eyes on what we're doing here. So it is kind of surreal. So the fact that, I've been able to do this for so long has made me a better podcaster, I would admit. And also getting to talk to different people has been good practice to learn how to do, because I think something that Rob brought up in his interview with Sharon, which if you've not checked out, make sure you do so, is he talks about how when you're the host, you cannot make the show about you, right? You are there, you have to make sure you are just mediating more than anything. And he's definitely right, and it's definitely a learned skill. To make sure that you are not like eyeing a lot, you're having a conversation or you're asking a lot of questions. And, getting to co-host the podcast with Rob, it's like literally learning from learning as close as you can be to learning from the person you see as the expert, Like I'm co-hosting with him. There's no longer taking notes in the back of the class. I am like the teacher's assistant. And now I am co-teachers with him. I'm no longer an assistant. So it's been surreal. It's been fun. And the Traitors has been growing, and we have been growing with it. And it's been very fun to be on this journey with Rob from the start. Like I've been with Rob from the first time he ever watched the show, and I watched him doubt the show. I watched him not really understand the show, to then I watched him appreciate the show, to then I watched him embrace the show, and I watched him get on the show. And that's been very, very fun. And now all of that culminates where who else on RHAP can ever say they exit interviewed Rob on Rob's network? No one can but me. I have that distinct honor. That's kind of nuts. That's kind of nuts. Thank you, Little Leaf. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited Rob's coming back as well. To get to 50-ish, I think it can get there for sure. And that was all in 2 days in a January 3 years ago. That's kind of wild that it's only been 3 years that we've had the Traitors. It's not been 4? Are you sure, Sam? It's been 4, I think. No, I think you're right. It is 3. Damn, it has been only 3 years. You've come such a long way since guest spots on live feed updates. I used to be all reliable. I used to be the random, hey, he's available at noon, bring him on. And look at us now. We've taken over Fridays. We're talking Traitors. We're talking 90. We're talking with Liana. Couldn't be happier, chat. Thank you, T-Lane. Appreciate that. Did he do a Terrence Show interview? That's not an exit interview. He's done a Pod Friends also. You got to make sure you get the post-game interview spot when Rob plays Survivor 55 Best to Never Win. I have a distinct feeling I will not be the one running that, but would love that. Will you be having a special guest on the Traitors recap pods? On the recaps, I doubt it. Just because with the recaps, you kind of, like me and Rob, we've done this enough where I'm like, we can come on, and our takes already, so we don't need to spend a lot of time explaining where we're coming from. It's like a continuation of our feelings from the week before. Versus bringing a guest on can be a little bit of a tougher situation, because then I'm going to speak a lot less because I want to give space to the guest to speak, versus bringing them on a feedback show. We can really focus on the guest there. Monday will be 3 years exact. That's good to know. I'll put a nice little post out, I think, on Monday. Oh, thanks, Sam. I really couldn't have gotten it without the 4 minus 1 equals 3. You're good, Howie. No worries. Aaron, welcome in. Do you think you'll be uploading the pal tonight or tomorrow? What do you think as an audience, right? I think just getting it, I'm gonna try and get it all set up and uploaded tonight so that it can go live like tomorrow morning or something, is my thought. I have a feeling it's gonna get buried just because it's not usually coming out on a Saturday, but you know, there's a different circumstance. Plus, I have a fun thumbnail. Rob's on it. Hold on. Let me see if I can share my thumbnail with you. Hold on. This is my thumbnail, chat. So so yeah. There you go. Is there any benefit to you as a streamer to have more views within the first few hours of a post? What kind of post, Owie, specifically? Why is this head so big? Because I want it to be very prevalent on the thumbnail. Identity theft is not a joke, and I stole it. Like a YouTube link? Oh. I don't know. As far as like YouTube knowledge, I'm not great at that, but does it kickstart a push into an algorithm? Maybe. I don't know. I think it's more so perception, right? So if within the first hour, when I put up YouTube videos on my personal account, on my YouTube account, if it gets like 200 views in the first like 6 hours, I'm like, this shit gonna, like, people are gonna check this out. But then if it's got like 29 views in the first 6 hours, I'm like, ooh, this ain't gonna go far at all. So it's just stuff like that. As far as timing for the post goes, it's more so like Saturdays are not typically a great day for releases, I find. But when you look at RHAP right now, as things stand, Saturday currently is a very quiet day for releases. So it's going to be one of the only podcasts that's going to drop tomorrow, is my assumption. So I don't see a problem with it going up tomorrow. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people would enjoy having your morning coffee with you and Liana. I think that's a very fair point. I think you've convinced me. I think I'll have it set up for it to go live tomorrow morning. You and Renap, I think? Yeah, then we're fine. Yeah. Some of the algorithm pushing it, it's possible, because I do think that people find my Goose videos often. Whereas like one of my RP videos has literally got less than 100 views on it. Like it just did not stick at all. So yeah. Just so what Alan said about the big event, he gave us an episode on keywords, so it isn't something we have already seen. Oh, amazing. Thank you, Archie fan. If not Saturday mornings, then directly after the pass, you can tell everyone to go watch it. Right. To be like, hey, jump now. Like, watch this now. But, like, it's midnight. It's late. I know a lot of people stayed up late last night. I'm probably going to go to bed early, including myself, which is why I'm going to start winding down here to say good night. Hope y'all had fun with me here. I'll be back on Sunday with some Goose. Currently in the process of formulating that lobby and gotten quite a few answers back already. We'll get the rest of the answers back soon come. So be on the lookout for that. And then otherwise, so we're going to do that Sunday. And obviously, as I've already mentioned to you, I am recording the Medium deep dive with Rob on Sunday. Also, that probably, subject to confirmation, goes live either Sunday night or Monday morning somewhere is my assumption. And then next week we will be back on Thursday to watch the episode together. I'll be live right after the episode to talk with Rob for episodes 4 and 5. And then Friday we'll be back with the pad. And that's kind of going to be our schedule for now, lest something new gets added into the mix. Oh, during the off season? Yeah, that's true. So Rob has to play Goose now, right? I don't think Rob wants to play Goose. He played 2 games of Among Us. He's played Goose as well, but he's played with Dominic would be there playing with him. Kind of like how Mike has Asher there with him anytime he's playing. Did you already mention if you're doing exit interviews? If we get any exit interviews approved for this batch, you'll hear about them soon enough. As of right now, we don't have any scheduled, except for Rob. So we should have exit interviews, but we'll see. And I'm recording Traitors UK with Annabelle tomorrow night. I'm recording Bel Air with Chappelle tomorrow for next week. I'm recording 90 Day with Liana tomorrow for this week. So I've got 3 podcasts tomorrow, 1 podcast Sunday, 1 stream Sunday, and then so I'm still busy. So tonight the sleep is needed, very much so. Did Peacock actually put a time limit on it, or is that just a Survivor CBS joke? The Medium deep dive thing, to my knowledge, I don't think I have a time limit. Looking forward to the next Traitors UK coverage. Thanks, Pooya. Thank you, Katie. A new idea. Rob does everyone's exit interviews for them as them. Well, he just puts outfits on. All right, chat. I appreciate you all. Y'all take care. Have a good one. I will be back on Sunday.